Hi friend, and welcome into the craft table at Sunny Mouse Studio. Today I'm really excited to show you this pen that I recently got. It's the Pental Pocket Pen. It's an acrylic waterproof black pen that works wonderfully with watercolors. It doesn't smear or smudge. Anyway, I got this on Amazon for about $7 and change in USD, and it comes with an extra refill. And when you first get it, you'll open it and the brush will be white, and you'll have to unscrew the pen and put one of these ink cartridges, I'm not sure what to call it, put one of these in, press it all the way in, put the top back on, and then hold it vertically for a while. And it took a few minutes for this to happen, but the ink will drain down to the tip. And then I took like a scrap piece of paper and did a bunch of, just this sort of thing, getting it going. And once it got going, it worked wonderfully. And I'll show you. You may have seen this short that I did earlier. And this is smooth, more like hot pressed watercolor paper, and this is more like the cold pressed with a lot of texture. And I'm not sure if it shows up too well, but the pen really went smoothly on this one. And I kind of like this one. It almost looks like a crayon or a chalk effect. And it went just as well, but it has a different look on the rough paper. And the pen was also just at the beginning of getting it going, so maybe we'll see today if that changes. But anyway, I thought we could take this tropical drink and maybe try making a card out of it and then putting the watercolor on it so you can see how the pen works. Let me move in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Maybe that's too close. Anyway, this is just a fun beachy type of card if you want to take a screenshot so you can come back to it and be able to make the design. I'm just going over, I drew it in my Pigma Micron pen and I was gonna color it, but I think I want to try going over the lines with this pen and just see what effect we have. So it's got a really fine tip and it's a little wobbly, which I'm still getting used to, but I don't mind that. But it just lays down the ink very smoothly. This is a Monstera leaf over here. I'm just tracing these pen lines as best as possible here. And they have these neat holes in them, don't they? And I think I'm going to leave the wording as is and then just kind of go around this flower, give it a loose feel here. And oh boy, these flip-flops, they look like they might be a challenge to me, but I'm going to see if I can get around here. Let's see. It's a little tricky with the finer details. But you can, if you take your time and go carefully, you can get it to work. And there, I'm going to let that dry. It doesn't take but a few minutes for it to be ready for the watercolor. While we're waiting, I'm going to do this. This is like a little strawberry happy birthday card. And this is much more freeing because I'm going to draw the big lines, not as fine point type of things. And it kind of does, this is the Canson XL paper, And it doesn't have a lot of texture, but it does have a little bit of texture. And you can see how it makes the like kind of chalky broken line, which I kind of like that effect. It looks sketchy to me. Just drawing the little strawberry leaves here. I love strawberries. Strawberries season is towards the end of June where I grew up and where I live in the summer. So it's going to be a while for those, but they're so yummy when you pick them fresh. My mom and I used to make jam when I was little. And she used to make strawberry rhubarb jam. Oh, that was really good. Rhubarb's a little bit tart, and it goes really well with the sweet strawberries. I'm just drawing the little strawberry flowers here. And I'm gonna leave the wording by itself there. And we'll let that dry. And I am gonna take my kneadable eraser and just get rid of the pencil marks from where I wrote that. And for the wording on this one, I used this glaze pen. Sakura glaze. And it has a nice shine to it, a little bit different than the Sharpie. I don't know if that shows up, but it's got definitely like a glossy finish to it. I really like this pen. As you can see, it's almost empty. I'm gonna have to get some more. So we'll switch back. I think this one is nice and dry. And I'm just gonna erase any of the pencil marks I had on there. Oh, well that's interesting. I just smudged it a little here. Must have been a tiny bit wet. Let me see if I can see any. I couldn't see any glare that it was wet, but it must be a tiny bit drying still. Well, we're gonna experiment. It's only been a couple minutes, maybe I have to wait longer. I'm gonna start with my lightest color, which is the yellow, the drink here. What do you think? Do you like the effect of this pen? I kind of rather enjoy it. So I'm gonna do an orange straw. And maybe a purple umbrella. And a blue little tropical flower here. And then brown. Whoa, way too much paint. If you get too much paint, you can just wash your brush off and go back in and kind of try to spread it around lighter. I don't mind the darkness up near the edge. It's kind of the shadow. And then light as it comes down. I'm going to use a green over here. Yeah, so far it's not really bleeding at all. So it just takes a few minutes before it's ready for the watercolor, I guess. I'll do that purple again. Just dropping wet into wet there. And for the sandals, I'm gonna use this shimmery gold and see if I can go around the edges of them carefully with my little paintbrush here. pretty happy with this pen. And now we'll go and put the strawberry paint on. I'm gonna use some kind of red. I forget which red. Sometimes the reds are hard to tell till you swatch them. I like that one okay. Let's see what this one is. That one's a little too orange. That one's a little too pink. I think I like the first one best. It's always interesting when you go to pick strawberries, how there's so many different kinds, at least where I go to pick. There's like big strawberries, and then there's like tinier ones that are different flavor. And as a kid, you always like to test them, don't you? Even as an adult. They're so sweet and juicy. Yeah, so it's not, this black is not smearing or moving at all, which is great. Just adding a little bit more certain spots. I'm gonna go in, I think I will pick the centers. Do I want to use gold or yellow? I'm not quite sure. I think I'll do yellow. They're usually like little yellow in the middle and white petals. And I'll add some green leaves. And if you really wanted to get fancy, you could put a background, like pink or something, and go all around the strawberries. That would probably look pretty cute. I'm just going around the shapes and not touching the black part. And you could paint the greeting in the pink too, or you could go around it like this. Either way. And there's a pretty sweet little birthday card. Oops, my green ran a little bit there. Just go in with a little water on your brush and get that right out. So that was our experiment for today with this new Pental Pocket Pen. And I hope you enjoyed that, and wherever you are in this beautiful world, I hope you have a great day, and I'll look forward to painting with you again soon.